One of the key parts of painting and teaching fabric painting is understanding color theory and color tonalities. To do this, we'll use the method of creating color tonalities and work on these color combinations and transitioning from one color to another. To start, draw strips about 20 centimeters long by 3 centimeters wide on your fabric with a pencil and start creating this color tonality. And I'm going to use white and black for the first tonality. Since we're going to gradually transition from one color to another, it's better to use a flat paper palette here. I've put the white paint on the palette, and now my second color, black, I'll put right here. And keep in mind that you should definitely either stir or shake the paint before using it because the texture usually separates a bit inside these jars. I've put my black paint down, and now I'll start creating this tonality and color strip. At the beginning of the strip, we start with white paint, applying it to the fabric, and what's very important is to work the paint into the fabric with our brush, meaning the paint shouldn't just sit on the surface. It should penetrate the fibers and be absorbed by the fabric. If you don't smooth out these brush strokes, they'll dry like that and we'll have an uneven and messy surface. Pay close attention to the paint's consistency. It shouldn't be so thick that it doesn't absorb, nor so thin that it bleeds. Now, as we gradually approach black, we add a little black paint to our white. And we start applying the new color from this section. Actually, from the end of the color that we applied, we start the new color so that when we blend it, it's completely seamless. The brush? We use a dry brush in a circular motion against the direction of the paint to blend it. Again, for the next part, we add a bit more black to our white. And from the end, see, it's painted up to here. We start from the end and apply this new color. This is because for blending, actually, when two colors are layered, they blend much better than if the paint was just on the fabric. Again, with a dry and clean brush, in a circular motion, we blend this part. Again, we make the color a bit darker. We start from the end part, right now. What's important is that fabric paints dry very quickly. So friends who work with acrylic on canvas or oil paint shouldn't think that this painting actually is like acrylic or oil paint, where these colors stay wet for a long time and you have enough time for blending. Unfortunately, it dries very quickly and you must have a lot of speed in blending your colors. As you see, I am gradually making this color darker and darker. You see, it's just like gradually this strip of ours gives us a darker and darker gray. And we blend it again. Wherever you feel the paint concentration is high, dip your brush in water and thin out the paint a bit. Thin it out and definitely pay attention to have clean water next to you. A container of water is needed for washing the brush, so the paint on the brush is cleaned off. A container of clean water should also be next to you for adding water to your paint. So you add clean water to the paint. attention. The brush you want to blend with should be both clean and dry. The brush shouldn't be watery. And under the same conditions, we make it darker. Look, now for this strip I'm working on, I'm not very sensitive about the cleanliness around the frame and this border and the line of our strip because it's not important at all. What's important right now is achieving this tonality and blending these colors into each other. Slowly, we're approaching the end of the tonal strip and the absolute black color. If you have a paper towel handy nearby, maybe just within arm's reach, cleaning your brush gently on this towel without dipping it in water is actually a really great way to help with blending your colors. We're not using a well palette here because this color transition and using color bit by bit, for this part, when we want to do shading and have a color transition, we need a flat surface without the hollows of those, well, palettes so that we can play with the color. And finally, the end of the work, which is the black color. Now we have a gray tonal strip that goes from white to black, and in the middle we have various tones of gray. This tonality, besides helping you loosen up your hand for blending and removing color borders, another positive point is that it actually introduces you to color basics and different color tonalities. I mean, you see a design somewhere, you want to execute it, and you see different colors of a tonality, like a different range of gray in that work. By practicing these tonalities and color strips, it'll stick in your mind how to get this gray. For example, you can get it by mixing 2/3 white and 1/3 black. And my suggestion is that you should definitely, to get the hang of it and to understand these tonalities better, use different colors to draw these color strips and achieve various color tonalities. Because as you blend different colors along these strips, you actually create colors that aren't in the colors you bought at all. And in fact, these are colors that you've created yourself.